For remembering, Barb. Holy moly, we are into the very end of October. Together we are stronger, together we are unbroken, and together we can do anything. I like that you chose unbroken. Because I have a broken bone.
That's very interesting.
That's funny. Very interesting. We are one mind. We are really proving it today that we are one mind. So welcome to Froggy Friday, November 30th, October 30th. Here I am with my clouded mind. You'll find out I've been a little bit fuzzy and not clear once I get talking. So welcome. And I'm always grateful to connect with our beautiful people across the sea. I can't express the magnitude my experience since going to Kenya. I give such great, profound thanks for that experience because it started the connection, the true connection of our relationships and our being with the Centers for Spiritual Living Kenya, the people that are connected to that center and involved and in the outreach of it all. And it takes me to my knees, the depth of gratitude. My life has become so rich and so expanded from this experience. And recently, I've experienced the fact that it's just, I'm hoping, and what I want to know too from our Kenyan friends, is it received? Is it coming back? Are we reaching the people, and how can we serve in a different way if we're not? So always open and welcome to those kinds of things. I know all of us are in leadership over here. The input that we got from the people on the board, it helps us to understand, and it helps us to understand the needs and the culture as well. We're all open to being enlightened with things that we can improve on. Even though we're one mind, there is differences, right? So welcome to Froggy Friday, and we have got, we are every 2 weeks, Lamech. Our next one will be November 13th, Friday the 13th. Don't let that stop you. Don't let any superstitions coming. It's all good. And I don't know if there's any other announcements. Our classes are in full force, so there's nothing really new pending that is starting.
No, I agree with you, Gwen. All classes are underway, ministerial classes, all of our fun day, our kids, everything is happening. Our financial freedom class is just extraordinary.
Rocking it.
Teachers are in full force. We're so grateful. There's so much to be grateful for.
Yes, it is. Barb, open us up with One People, our signature song.
Yeah, I can do that.
Please.
Let me share that page. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. I said we are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another. We're born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. When it's all said and done, we are one. Oh, Gwen's still singing.
We are one. We are one. We are one people. And we've proven that with our little discussion this morning already with Lamech, that we have had coinciding ideas that are synchronistically happening together, and it is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Welcome, Agnes. Welcome, Patrick. Good morning. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Love to have you aboard.
Good evening.
Well, hi. Hi. I trust the power is working today. Good. Good. And that's going to be our weekly prayers, everyone, that when we have Zoom calls and Zoom classes, that the internet, the power is working perfectly and connection perfect as well. We're going to just keep that in our weekly prayers. Are we okay with that? Good for that?
I
Yeah.
love to pray. We should pray ourselves in.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that. Would you be willing to pray us in there, Miss Barb?
You want me to do it? Listen, somebody asked me to do a treatment.
Sure.
It is my joy and my honor. So right here and right now, take that deep breath of life with me. That is the essence of spirit moving in, through, and around, as us, for us, in between each and every one of us, knowing there is no distance in between. So I speak my word today, knowing that spirit is all there is. I speak my word for this incredible Froggy Friday as Reverend Gwen shares from the heart, opening hearts, giving an inspirational message that we can all take back and apply into our lives, knowing that we are the heartbeat beating together as one. I set my intention knowing that this is a day of community, that this is a day of reaching out, that this is a day of celebration and song. And we do it as community, as family, sharing that love, that life that is ever present through each and every one of us, known as spirit in action. I let these words go back into the heart, back into the essence, back into the foundation and the flow that we each are, accepting it as my truth, that spirit is everywhere present. It is demonstrated every second of every day. And my heart is profoundly, deeply, truly grateful for the opportunities to be in love. I am so excited for this morning. I let it go, I let it be. And so it is.
Ooh, and so it is. Yay, yay, yay.
My God, good.
You know, praying just, it lightens you, it lifts you up. I know that's my experience. I expect it to be everybody else's too, because, you know, I'm experiencing it. You must be experiencing it. Well, I got to tell you, I've had an extraordinary week. Barb and I are going to share some inspiration here this week with me. It's been quite extraordinary. I first was planning to meet up with these gals I grew up with. And I wanted to show them the beautiful Vancouver Island. And they come from the provinces in Canada that are flat, and we call them the prairie provinces, and they're landlocked. And so I was excited to show them around the city of Victoria, because we've got ocean, we've got hillsides, we've got the coastline, and it's one of my favorite places to be. So, and it was a very different landscape for them. So I really wanted to show them the best, take them on some hikes, show them some scenery, show them the downtown of Victoria. Because in Saskatchewan, it's already getting cold. They've had snow. You all know what snow is? Yeah, we've had a taste of our winter. It's that white stuff falling from the sky and it piles up. Here, I mean, it's very mild here, and so it's cold, like below zero cold, everyone. So here it's still green and lush. Hello, Reverend Claire. So it was just lovely fall here, and so we had been enjoying some hiking, and while we were hiking, I managed to hurt myself, and it was during the hike, I was going over a boulder and I had excruciating pain in the middle of my chest. And I had to kind of walk it off, and it kind of eased up enough that I was eventually able to carry on and keep walking. And I did all my activities for the next few days. And it was about 5 days later, it was so excruciating in my chest. I had to go to the hospital. I had to get help. So I went to the emergency room. I was helped. I had multiple tests. I was taken care of very well. I've been painkillers. And by the way, that's the reason there was a lot of confusion and muddle yesterday. Anything I posted yesterday there was an error in it somewhere. And finally, Barb phones me and says, get off, no more, can't send any more messages. But it was the medications that were fuddling me.
Internet, you're not allowed to post anything else.
Oh, stop me now, right? Anyways, I didn't even know I was doing anything wrong. So that's how the painkillers were affecting my mind. Shocking news. I found out that I actually had fractured my breastbone right in the middle of my chest. It's a tough bone to actually break. So that was the shocking part, because it wasn't like I had a blunt force trauma to it, which is the classic way of breaking it. And I just kept on asking how, like, how could I have done it and then function for 5 days as I carried on? And I know it was uncomfortable at times, but it was a fractured bone. And then finally it got so bad that I guess I irritated enough that I had to listen and I had to go get help. So I went from how did this happen? How did this mechanically happen? I have to figure it out. I have a nursing background, so in my mind, I had to figure it out. And truly, not even the doctors could truly answer that question. So then I moved into why. I had to know why. Why would this happen? And I often answer metaphysically, I want to know why. I had several people say, well, maybe it was your body, maybe it was the universe saying you have to slow down. And really, slow down from what? I know we've been full on with since June, stepping into our new roles of spiritual leader and all the business and the teachings, the classes. But I mean, really, it's been such a joy-filled experience that I didn't feel like I had to slow down. So I know other people were seeing me as busy, but I didn't experience being busy. So that didn't resonate with me, to tell you the truth. So I had to sit with it, and I had to look up and just find different variations of. And yesterday, I found a comment that said, someone has undervalued me, and it has affected me by broken sternum. Metaphysically. Well, that threw me for a loop, because that didn't make sense to me either. I went through the whole inventory of everyone I know, and I'm thinking, I have never felt undervalued by anybody. How is that possible? So it didn't resonate with me. I didn't take it on as the reason why. But as I was awaking this morning, I was struck by the comment that was saying to me in my God self, it was myself. I was undervaluating me. It was me. And I don't know what to some extent evaluating me. It seems kind of odd. I really, really was not conscious of this. But maybe it's because I am surrounded by such incredible wisdom. There is such incredible wisdom in our teachers and in our leadership. And stepping into that co-spiritual leader, as a co-spiritual leader, I know that I was on a big learning curve, but it has to be a learning curve. It's a new experience for me. But somewhere unconsciously, I was undervaluating me. I didn't know necessarily what I was doing, or I didn't even know that I was to know what I was to be doing, if that makes sense. And that's not just the drugs talk, and that's how fuddled I was. So there's something new occurring, and I still don't feel like I was putting myself down that much, because my old self would say, "Who do you think you are?" That was my common little tap on the shoulder going, "Who do you think you are?" That was my blocking voice, that voice that would just keep me from growing and shining my light. Who do you think you are? And all that unworthy talk would come up. But I got to tell you, since stepping in and saying yes to this calling, I don't feel those voices are bothering me. Those are not the things that are bothering me. So to realize that I have been undervaluating me, myself, and what I am and who and what I have to offer, still, it's new to me. I'm not sure what to do with it yet, but I just know I'm aware of it. I'm just observing it. I know that this call is a soul, heart, and God calling. So I am not experiencing anything that is like egotistical or wanting recognition. I just want to serve this community in the best and the highest. And I know I'm surrounded by that wisdom because I need that wisdom. I need that guidance. I know that we are all doing that work that God calls us to do. And we are all supportive. I've got Barb, I've got Pat, I've got the board, honestly, I am fully supported. So this whole idea of undervaluing myself, it's already diminishing. I know that as my mortal self, I have a broken bone to tend to, and I will have to tend and care for it and myself. And I have had lots of injuries before. I have had cuts and I have bruises. I hike, I cycle, I box. I know that I'm not graceful in all these events, but I still carry on and do it. But I do get hurt. There are times I get hurt. And when it happens, with my new way of thinking through the Science of Mind teachings and philosophies, I go to gratitude as soon as possible. Within about half an hour after I left the hospital, I had talked with Barb. And I said, "Barb, I'm already in gratitude. I was so grateful for the help I received. I had 2 people looking after me. I had a whole fleet of nursing staff and lab staff and the doctors at the hospital. They just took care of me. It was amazing. So I could go right into grace and gratitude. And that moves me and shifts me into healing. That moves me and shifts me into healing on a physical level, on an emotional level, for sure. And I have the faith in the healing, and faith is richer. I get to release this feeling of undervaluating me, wherever that came from. It's a new one for me. I release it. I release it right here and right now. I know that we are all on this path together, and I know that I am joined in that one mind, that one. So with new eyes, I see things differently. Can I have that slide, Barb?
Yes, yes.
With me, see things differently. I see that hope is something I have joyfully lost and has been replaced by a rich and more frequent faith. I see deeper who I have always been. I see that no matter how often I have not met the mark I have set for myself, unconditionally loved and believed by the Creator. I see that my every thought is a step on the mortal journey, and I am gifted with the power to choose my thoughts. I see that I need no more to be imprisoned by fears, uncertainties, or doubts as I focus on the now. I see that I know, and I know that I know, and I see that I am a bud whose full bloom is now through. I see that I am a bud whose full bloom is seeking through. And I got thinking about that line. We are never fully bloomed. We never realize our full bloom because we are always growing and we are always evolving. We are always that bud of possibilities, endless possibilities and potentialities. That bloom is always our potential blossom. But we never quite get to that full bloom because we're always fully evolving and growing. So we are always breaking out our petals to some degree, always coming from the center, that center of God, being centered and aligned with that one, that spiritual intelligence that permeates and penetrates every cell and fiber of our being. And I know this to be the truth of myself, and I know this to be the truth of each and every one of us. Tag, Barb.
Oh, Reverend Gwen, thank you so much for that. What comes to me as I'm listening to you is I love I love when your body speaks to you and spirit speaking through your body to you to pay attention. I have been that recipient many, many times when spirit is saying, if you're not going to pay attention, I'm going to bring it to you in a way where I have you focused on this. And it came, unfortunately, but fortunately, through a fractured sternum, which is an incredible break. And so what I have, as I'm thinking with gratitude, and I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing because spirit's funny. Spirit comes to us in many, many, many ways. And when we talked, when this happened to you, Gwen, I said, well, this has happened. You have to accept it and move on. We can't dwell in the past. We can't reflect and wonder why, oh, why, oh, why is this happening? Why did this happen? You know, why is this happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
We can ask those questions and we can dive deeper. But the truth is, when something happens, you recognize it, you accept it as that's the experience you're having now, and you have the wisdom to know that you can move forward and change those circumstances. So many times spirit has stopped me in my tracks. And when I look back in reflection, I would be like, oh my gosh, spirit was knocking, opportunity was knocking, and I was not answering. You know, pay attention was knocking and I was not paying attention. I did not answer. I did not, you know, go into that knock on the door or consciousness, the knock on consciousness. So what I think is happening for all of us as we reflect on Reverend Gwen's experience is how can we pay attention? How can we pay attention to what is happening, you know, within? Not necessarily the outside world, but within. And Lamech gave an incredible demonstration this morning, and it made me cry, of how we're all connected. We are contemplating as a board how and when Reverend Gwen and I will come to Kenya. And it's at the forefront of our conversations. And I jokingly said to the board, and I said to Gwen, well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to stay at Lamech's house. Now, I had not told Lamech this. He had no idea. And before I even said that, I had texted him and said, brother, I'm thinking about you. I don't need a thing. I don't want anything. I just want you to know I'm thinking about you and I'm grateful. And, you know, he just smiled back and loved me up as Lamech does. And today, Lamech shared with us, and this is the divine connection of consciousness that I'm talking about. Paying attention to when opportunity knocks, paying attention to when that small, still voice is speaking to you about yourself, about your body, about your emotional, your creative state, your all of those things. And Lamech signed on and said, by the way, I want you to know, I'm adding on 2 rooms to my home. So when you come, you can be comfortable. We had not had that conversation. That's the connection of spirit. That's the connection. And so, Patrick, I also want to tell you that you were part of this consciousness spread this week too. And I think you know the story I'm going to share. I gave a presentation to Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living, along with our beautiful head practitioner, Michelle. You all know Michelle. And the thing that I had said is, we have a satellite center in Kisumu. And Michelle just kind of said, we do. And I had not told Patrick this, but I'm building, and I'm in my mind, I'm sharing, I'm speaking the word into the universe. And Patrick didn't even hear this conversation or thought in my head, but because we're so connected, he reached out to Michelle and said, I have a study group. That's our satellite group, folks, in Kisumu.
Actually, it's Dan.
Was it Dan?
It's Dan.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Patrick lives in Nairobi.
Patrick.
I'm floating.
Thank you, Gwen.
Take the credit, Patrick. Take the credit.
Get busy, Patrick, because you have a group to create. I just spoke it to the universe.
I can move to Kisumu.
No, stay where you are and do what you're doing there and more. So, but this is the perfect demonstration, thank you, Reverend Gwen, of how we are connected, how we don't even need to know the answers, of how we don't even need to know how we're going to do it or who we're going to do it with, or we just need to know the why. And the why is to get closer to spirit. The why is to become as Dan and Lamech and Christine and Patrick, all of you, and Reverend Claire and Reverend Pat and Reverend Gwen and I are valuing ourselves to know that we have been anointed and appointed with this project of life. And that's what I'm talking about, Reverend Gwen. So when you're sharing, and I'm so sorry you have suffered this week, and I'm so sorry that you've been in pain, but I found a little joy in your drug thing going on yesterday. I'm not going to laugh. I did a little laughing. But folks, this, even in the pain, even in the hardships, even in the struggle, we still have that consciousness. And so when spirit is tapping, knocking, trying to get your attention in the middle of the night, 2 a.m, 1 p.m, when you're feeling sick, when you're feeling in sorrow, when you're feeling elated, and when you're feeling the great pleasure of the life of love, as Lamech has said, as Christina said, One People is now her favorite song. And I'll find that for you, sister. I'll send it to you. I think we actually have a recording of us doing it in Kenya. So I'll look for that for you. When we are in those small spaces, yes, and even in the big spaces, in the hardships, in the ease, that's spirit. This too is good. This too is God, is always what I say, even in the pain and even in the glory. This too is good. This too is God. Thank you for letting me share, Reverend Gwen. I get excited.
Absolutely. And you're absolutely right. You know, my old self would have wallowed in it and milked it for all I had. I would have been on the couch. But you know what? You rise above it. Yes, this happened. Okay, let's go. Let's move. And I'm just so grateful for knowing that life is happening. So you can lump up and wallow, or you can move through it and get on with it.
And I would ask everyone.
I just know that time is.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask everyone. I'm sorry.
What did you say about everyone?
I'd like to ask everyone, where in your life can you feel that you need to be, as Lamech wrote earlier, together we are stronger, together we are unbroken, together we can do anything. Where in your life do you feel where you need to feel mended, where you need to feel that connection and so stitch up the part that's coming, the seam that's coming apart? Where in your life can you apply the connection of spirit in everything, through everything? Sorry, Reverend Gwen.
No, let's hear from everybody. Unmute yourselves and let's have a talk. Let's hear what you have to say. Is there anything in your time that you need mending? Is there something you need prayer for? Patrick. Probably time to do homework. Patrick's taken on 2 classes.
I'm just managing.
Well, I also have
Wow.
planted, Patrick, that you will become a minister. Every single person in this room will become,
Amen.
that's the seed on.
Amen.
Oh,
So
yay!
it is.
And so it is. What I'd like to share with you, and maybe you can give me a treatment, is that since I was a baby, since I was 3 years old, I've had problem with my chest. That's the bronchial asthma. It was worse when I was a kid, but over the years it's been reducing, and I'm getting better and better as we go along. Because when I was in high school, sometimes I would stay a whole week at home because of the condition. But over the years, now I'm always having this degree. It's not that serious. I believe, I know I'm getting better and better as we go along. So this week, I think we've been in 103. I'm in class 103. And somebody among us shared the meditation by Dr. Joe Spencer.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm trying one of them for healing. And when I tried one, I felt tremendous change. It's not gone, but I felt tremendous change. And then I did it for the second time yesterday. And for some reason, instead of the condition here, my arm was paining. It was paining. I had a lot of pain in this arm. Well, funny thing is, last night when I was trying to sleep, the pain was still there. So I decided to wake up and get some painkillers. But when I left the bed to get the painkillers, the pain was not there. Still, I went and took 2 tablets just for the sake, and I forgot about it. It wasn't there. In the morning, I felt it again, and it continued. Something funny happened. I commanded the pain. I made a treatment and commanded it to go, and it disappeared. It disappeared, but it gradually came back, but it's not as strong as it was. But I commanded to go, and it went, and I've been feeling less and less. So that's the report I wanted to give. Maybe you can do a treatment for me for my condition. But then to add to that, I needed to give a comment on what Reverend Nguyen has just told us. Many of us do undervalue ourselves, and that's an example. Because along the line, I meet people who address to me as sir. And I always thought sir is a very high title. I don't think I'm a sir. Just call me Patrick, or just call me not sir. But then over the years, because I meet more and more people calling me sir, I gave up. So I just agree. Okay, you can call me sir. So we do undervalue ourselves once in a while. I think we try to be modest, but we should take if I give you respect that I give you, I think you should take it. Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm giving an example of myself. So if somebody called me sir, I should not refuse it. I should just accept it because they have seen the value in me. And then we always live in fear, because when we stop living in the now, it's either we are living in the future or in the past. And therefore we can't concentrate on the now. Therefore we are in constant fear because we are anticipating what might happen, or we are regretting of something that has passed. And therefore we don't enjoy the present now, the present moment, the eternal now. And as we go deeper into this knowledge, I have come to learn how to live with the present. Maybe not always. And it's so exciting when you don't anticipate, when you just let things flow, open up like the bud, like letting the flower bud just flow and flourish. So that's another revelation I got recently. It's so exciting to live in the now whenever you can. And I think we should try always. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. We only have the now, don't we?
Yes, that's the only thing we have.
Yeah, true.
Yes, yes.
True.
Somebody said, yesterday spent cash. Today is what? Today is, and tomorrow is our promissory note. Today is only cash we have.
It's the gift, the present.
The gift. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Wow.
you. And prayers are done for you.
Maybe I would like to share. Patrick is my prayer partner, and I had the same kind of a feeling yesterday, and I did a quite number of treatment, and I thought about him the whole day yesterday, and I believe that the treatment was working right for him and for me. So Patrick, I'm holding you in that bubble, and we continue. I love you, brother. Good.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And Lamek, you talked about building community. That's how we build community too, by having our prayer partners and that connection through treatment work and support.
Vital.
Yay. Yeah. Any part of your life you want to mend, Lamek?
For me, actually, the part I would like to amend is being afraid of let down. Like I do something and that kind of a setback. Sometimes I hold back when I know this is the right thing I need to do, and I'm afraid to fail. So that kind of, I think I need to amend that. I think Patrick will help me that, and every one of us can help me in that area. I'm too afraid. I'm so kind of I'm a perfectionist in my areas, and I'm afraid when I don't meet that standards. So there's that kind of being afraid.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
I got your back, brother. I got your back.
That's so beautiful. Anything you want to share, Christine?
Yes. I think I need treatment, and I think relationship. I'm having a difficult time with my relationships, and I think since that time when we were doing visioning, so much has been emerging from the race consciousness, and I've been wondering, like, why is this all coming up? And I was talking to Reverend Beth. She said, like, maybe these things are just coming up so that you can heal, forgive, and let them go. So I would really like to have a treatment on the areas of rejection, because coming from the rest consciousness, and I've been receiving a lot of rejection from my mother, and it is something that was there since childhood. But then when we were doing the visioning class, it just came up in a way that I couldn't even believe it. But I realized that maybe it is just coming up so that I can heal it, can forgive it, and just let it go. I've tried to do it. I've really tried to do the releasing part of it, like where I release, I embrace love, I release the fears, I release whatever I need to release, and then I embrace the qualities of God. But I feel like it is time that I need also your support in treatment, and just know that I'm going through a very difficult time with that.
Okay. You bet. It's done. Thank you
Know
for
that.
sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Reverend Pat, how are you today?
Oh, I am doing great. I guess more energy would be nice, considering how much time I'm spending with my grandchildren as well. So I relate it to Barb's comment earlier about how much energy they have. So I just like to tap into their energy and have some of it wash over me.
Thank you, Reverend Pat. I get you.
Like 3-year-olds and 9-year-olds?
Yeah, 3-year-old and a 9-year-old, and yeah.
And I see Lamech has a wonderful note that he would like to share. Love is, there is.
Nice. Nice.
I can treat for everybody and I can hold you in the highest. Know that you are in my prayers today. And I'll be really excited to hear the great successes of treatment in your life, knowing that you are held in the highest of high.
And Reverend Claire, is there anything you want to share? I don't know if she's on here or not.
Driving, I think.
Oh, okay. Driving. Okay.
Well, last we saw she was getting in her car.
Okay.
The highest for Reverend Claire as well.
Absolutely.
Reverend Gwen, in your value and in your brilliance and in your sharing and in the light that you are. I also want everyone to know, if I can share this, when Reverend Gwen felt the pain, at the same time that she felt her pain, she saw white light. And she had been cracked open. She don't like that expression, but I'm using it. She had been cracked open and nothing was leaving, everything was coming in. Just so you know,
the other image I have to share is, I've shared this before, that when I have been in class time with our Kenyan students, I come off and I feel like my physical body is so small because I'm so expanded from the class and the richness of the class that I can hardly come down and fit in my physical body. And my heart is swelling. So I feel like the bone had to crack to make room for my expanded heart. That's a way better image, right?
I want to thank those of you who reach out to us after you've attended our service to say that you've enjoyed it and what you've got out of it. And I love our sharing so deeply. And I'm so grateful for you coming on a little early so we can have extra conversation and time together when we do.
Yeah.
I understand that feeling, Gwen, of being lifted above, the elation. I'm grateful.
I am so grateful. Let's go to the affirmations, Barb.
Okay.
And we can say this out loud. You're all join in. I joyously accept my vibrant health and well-being. I am loved, and lovable. I am divinely guided and directed as I navigate this thing called life. And so it is.
And so it is.
Bless each and every one of you. I am so blessed by your presence. Thank you for joining us today. Keep up that communications and our connections. It's profound. It's profound. I'm whelmed.
Christine, I will find a link and I'll send that one people to you. I'll send it to all of us that are here today. I love us. I appreciate us. I value us. Everybody, have an incredible weekend, and we'll see you in classes, and we'll see you next Froggy Friday. Lamech might come back next week by himself and do something himself.
For curiosity, I'm going to join in on Friday.
I record.
Yes.
I'll do everything.
Gwen and I will be here on November 13th, Friday, November 13th, which is my birthday weekend. I'm just saying.
Wow.
And your gift to me would be to have all of your family and friends join us.
Yes. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Well done,
Yeah,
Reverend.
right.
Love you. Love
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Bye bye, everyone.
Love you.
Bye-bye.